Good morning, dear students. Good morning, grade 9. Our lesson today is Module 8, Listening D, student book page 90. So let's start with the objectives. By the end of this video, you will be able to get the meaning of some new vocabulary related to computer games, identify the main idea of an audio, respond to a documentary. So look at this picture. What do you think this picture is? Amusement, amusement, amusement. Amusement is a noun and it means the feeling of being entertained or made of laugh. So, look at this example. I play the piano just for my own amusement. Amusement, مرح أو متعة أو استمتاع. So, this photo, yes, financial. Financial means something relating to money or how money is managed. For example, is there any hope of getting financial support for the project? Financial support, دعم مالي. So financial means مالي. And this picture, what does this picture mean? Game console. Game console is a noun and it means a kind of game or a piece of electronic equipment for playing games on. So, for example, most of the kids had a PlayStation, Xbox, or other game console. Game console. أتاري أو game لعبة. Let's match the words here with the appropriate picture. So, financial, excellent. Amusement, very good. Game console, very good, girls. Now, you are going to listen to an audio. You are going to listen just for a while. Try to guess the main idea of this audio. Okay, so
B. Listen to a part of a documentary about the history of computer games and answer the questions. Choose A, B. A, B, C, or D. Since the creation of computers, people have been trying to develop computer games. These games, however, were not made just for amusement. In the 1940s and 1950s, computers were particularly expensive machines that required an entire room, so they were mostly owned by universities and big companies. Computer engineers invented games to test the computer's capabilities, and the public was fascinated to get news about
excellent, girls. So, what do you think the main idea of our lesson is? Excellent. The history of computer games. The history of computer games. Now, let's have a look on the question. Student book page 90, exercise B. Read the questions, then you are going to listen to answer these questions. Have some time to read the question. Okay, welcome back, students. Let's now listen to answer these questions. Listen now.
Listen. Listen. D. Listen to a part of a documentary about the history of computer games and answer the questions. Choose A, B, C, or D. Since the creation of computers, people have been trying to develop computer games. These games, however, were not made just for amusement. In the 1940s and 1950s, computers were particularly expensive machines that required an entire room, so they were mostly owned by universities and big companies. Computer engineers invented games to test the computer's capabilities, and the public was fascinated to get news about these modern machines. These first games were not for the general public, and their use was limited to a small circle of technology professionals. Ralph H. Baer, known as the father of video games, is the man who changed all of that and made gaming technology available to ordinary people. By the 1960s, millions of Americans owned TVs, and Baer believed that this technology could be used for more than just passive entertainment. In 1967, Bayer's company gave him financial support to do research and create a device that could connect to a TV and make it interactive. In 1972, the Magnavox Odyssey, otherwise known as the Brown Box, was ready for the market. Similar to gaming packages bought today, the Brown Box had a console and two controls. Included also were scorecards and 6 games that were in the form of cards too, which were placed in the console. Scorecards were necessary because the game didn't record scores. Players then could only see dots and lines on their screens. With sales of under 200,000 units, Ralph Baer's Brown Box was considered anything but successful. But there is no doubt about the importance of his invention in video game history. The Magnavox Odyssey was the first of its kind, and many that followed borrowed from it, making the world of gaming what it is today.
So, girls, your answers. Number one, why did computer engineers create the first video games? Excellent to learn more about what computers were able to do. Number two, according to what you heard, why did Bayer create the brown box? To make it possible for people to play games using their TV. Number three, which of the sentence below is not true about the brown box? Scores appeared on the player's screens. What can we infer about the Magnavox Odyssey? It shaped the future of video games. Excellent, girls. Now, your homework is to listen to this audio and answer the questions. So, listen now.
C. E. Listen to a man talking about polo and circle the correct option. Hello and welcome to the National Polo Museum. Firstly, let me tell you a few basics about the sport. Polo was first played in Persia and is over 2,000 years old. It began as a training game for soldiers, and each game could have as many as 100 players on horseback. Over here, we have an ancient manuscript, and you can see from the picture that the game hasn't changed much over the centuries. You can see men on horseback holding sticks and trying to hit the ball. The modern game came from India. It was brought to Britain in the 19th century, and it was here that today's rules were created. Now, does anyone know how polo is played? No? Well, the game is played on a large field between two teams. Each team, which consists of 4 players, tries to score goals by hitting the ball with their sticks while on horseback. A game of polo can last up to 8 periods, and each period is 7 minutes long. In polo, periods are called chakkars, which is the Indian name. Are there any questions before we move on? What's the connection between polo and water polo? That's a good question. They both come from the same Tibetan word pulu, which doesn't mean polo, as most people think, but ball. That's interesting.
Okay, girls. So, do you like computer games? Why? Why not? Thank you for listening and goodbye.